morning
said
was
we're
about.
going live.
Now we're really live. What said
Yeah,
it?
so
I
stop.
think you were
Stop talking shit.
right.
Yeah.
About how
Hey,
our
good
antenna's
evening.
better than anybody else's antenna.
No, he's talking shit about his Toroid being better than everybody else's.
Right.
Love that too.
I gotta say, he does wrap a mean Toroid with them old fingers.
I was going to say you guys might have to take over a little bit on this since I'm actually doing the work.
What do you
We're
mean?
going to build an antenna tonight.
Nice.
What do you guys got going on? James, you just posted something the other day, didn't you?
No, not yet. Theo and I'll be doing a live stream on Sunday morning again.
Sunday morning.
We'll be doing some dinking around with stuff.
Grouchy old man stream.
Right. We rant. We play with oscilloscopes.
It's like the best part of Nuggets, but no ham radio involved.
Well, so far. I mean, we talked about ham radio. It's like Clubhouse, only with less ranting, more cogent rants. Let's go with that.
Well, we are more cognizant.
Right. Certainly better looking.
Yeah. And 3 out of 4 of us don't have Alzheimer's.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a 2-person stream, so you do the math.
Right.
You know, there's some people that would complain if they won the lottery. And one of those people is
Don?
Lightning Lee.
Oh.
He says, haven't we already seen the Kronos being built? We have, but we haven't done it live, giving folks the opportunity to ask questions as the process commences.
Yeah. I want you all to haze Chuck as hard as possible to see if he can actually still build the antenna in under an hour.
I will tell you. Well, go ahead and what do you got going, Tio?
I was going to say, so hey, Steve, what's going on your channel? Well, on my channel, I got a beehive. So it's going to be Tio's apiary
neat.
coming up. If you looked over at Twitter, you'll see I had a honeybee queen move into the rear end of my RV and then brought
Into
her
your rear.
brood with
Oh, I
her.
thought you said something else at first.
No, Michael. Actually, I
Michael,
guess I shouldn't have answered that.
You asked the question and we said no. So
Yeah, not you. Everybody but Michael's allowed to ask questions. I'm telling you, son, you need to record you getting those bees out of there because that's going to be high
Well, you know
risk.
how I got those bees out of there. Hello, Mr. Bee Man. Could you come get these bees?
Did you call? You called somebody to do it?
Yeah.
I
Well, 'cause
told
I
him
wanted
to
them to
do it
stay
with
alive.
fire.
They're
I
all
told him to
honeybees.
do it with fire.
If they were like hornets or something, raining down from hell,
We had a
aside
hornet,
from orbit.
gone.
we had a hornet infestation at work, and they were getting into my office, and I would hit them with the dust away spray or whatever it is, the air cleaner, just a little bit to slow them down because it would kind of cool them and they'd fall on the ground. And then I'd put a coffee cup over them and I'd put a piece of paper with an arrow saying B and I'd point it there and I made the maintenance guy come and get every single one of them.
All the upside down coffee cups all over the office.
And he was like, well, what I can do is I can spray and I'm like, you can spray the poison outside. You can't spray it in here where I sit all day. I was like, I don't want you spraying the poison spray. But
all right.
you're sitting there on the phone and you see a hornet fly by you, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, you ever been stung by one?
Yeah.
It will change your religion.
I was out walking around in my bare feet last summer in my
This
backyard,
MF
and
is Gen X. He's been stung by many bees.
I stepped on a wasp, and it felt like my foot was on fire. Like I just kept squirting the hose. Like I've got a mist on my hose, so the cold water on it for like an hour. But I mean, it was so bad, it was killing me.
Yeah.
I was like, get me a cold beer. Somebody get me a cold beer. I need.
You're going to pour
medicine.
beer on your foot?
Is it
No, I was
worse
going to
than
drink
the
that.
gout?
I was like, I need some medicine.
That should have taken away the pain of your gout.
Two
right?
Gen X, 2 boomers.
Yeah, that's probably the way. Tio's probably right about that.
Oh,
Hey.
boy.
Hey,
Okay.
can you
What's
give
up?
me give me the measurements for the vent, would you?
We did sell out today.
For the
We are
vent.
sold out, Doc. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate it, buddy.
I can't control this, so FEP, can you go to the vent measurement?
Yeah.
Although technically, according to the instructions, Chuck should be drilling the hole for the eye bolt first.
He's way
Just
ahead of you.
I'm just pre-drilling everything.
Right
so
there?
I can show
No,
it.
the vent is one
easier.
more down.
One more. There you go.
And that's
1
for the
inch.
lug next to the vent, so one more. One more.
One-
There we go.
There you go.
So it's an inch and a half from the bottom and then it's a 1 1/4 from the opening at the top.
Arthur, thank you for being a member for 20 months. Appreciate it.
Thank
The
you.
bottom opposite the eye bolt, not the bottom opposite the top cover.
OG,
Yeah.
thank you for the $7.99 super chat.
Is
Appreciate
that
it.
OG or 0G? Thank you.
I think that's
Zero G.
I'm going to go with O because 0G doesn't.
Did you get Doc Brad up in here?
Yeah,
We did.
been done.
Thank you, Doc.
All right.
All right. I think
Yeah, we are. So while Chuck is doing whatever the heck Chuck is doing, we are sold out of Kronos. We are Winchester on the Kronos, if you know what that means.
That
So
went a
we
little
have
faster than
Parts on order. It did go
Bingo.
faster than a Poseidon.
All right.
It is 0.
It is 0. Okay.
I thought that
0 point G then.
Give me the.
when we start with, we had 24 of them. Is that right? We bought the parts for 25, and then one of them was for the video, and then this one. So it's 23 we're selling.
Give me the measurement for the SO239. I don't remember that one.
That's slide number 6, I believe. There you go.
Let's read that from here.
Down from the top at 1 point, or 1 1/8.
1/8 down. And then in the center, right?
Yeah, in the center.
That's right, Craig. Tobacco spit. E, I heard, works. I've never tried that.
They say yarn. You put some yarn on there.
Yarn.
Yeah. But I don't know if that's the cure is worse than the
Yeah.
than the
Right,
actual
nobody I
problem.
want to have do that to me. Yep.
Now, that is the way to deal with bees. A CO2 fire extinguisher, freeze them, slow them down, and then burn them. Just saying.
I've seen the videos where these guys go out there with like a shop vac and vacuum them
Yeah.
all up.
It's pretty
I've
much
seen a
what it
guy
is.
doing a hornet's nest. There's a YouTube channel of some crazy fool who
That's what he does, like every video. Is
de-hornets people with a vacuum. Or yeah, like no.
well,
Some
those
of
things,
those-
like even if you kill them, sometimes they come back to life, and I don't trust them.
Zombies.
undead hornets.
And the
I
thing
don't-
is, with those hornets, none of them have a good attitude. You know what I mean?
They
they're-
are all
They're all
very
like
upset.
Little gyms.
right.
I was going to say no. They're like the blue hairs that protest about everything, and you know,
Blue hair protesters.
I just got that
the
one.
blue
Little
blue
gems.
haired nose ring wearing protester type.
I saw somebody had a shirt that said, "I support the current thing." I just thought that was hilarious. That's it, whatever the outrage du jour is.
Freddie, no, I don't think so, but I can check in the back after the show.
Yeah, I
Pretty
don't
one.
think we do, but
No.
Choke on a stick.
I think the only one we
No,
have left is
honeybees
the one
are-
that Jim bought, right?
These are pretty tame.
All right. So, let me switch this for you guys. Sorry.
Chuck will be ready to get started around the half-hour mark, folks. In case you're wondering,
Yeah. When does the Chuck timer start? The stopwatch.
it started,
busy.
son.
I
Get
mean,
busy
8.5 minutes in. I mean, it's not like he didn't know this was his show today,
He made it.
right?
I'm here, dog.
Andrew,
So I
that is
got-
the way. That is a totally acceptable method to get rid of a hornet's nest, right there.
Well,
Okay.
if it's on your house, I don't know if you want to spray fire at your house. You know
I'm
what
a
I mean? Like,
professional.
Burn it down.
I'm a professional.
yeah, I'm sure you are.
right. Can you
All right,
guys
Chuck,
see all
take
the
it away.
parts here?
Yes.
I mean, that's
Mostly.
upside down. Why is that upside down?
It's
Good dad. There we go. So you
it's
get
upside down and backwards, Chuck.
Yeah. Weird.
Right, he rotated at 360 degrees.
No, I went.
Your
Chuck,
camera
flip
is in
your
your
flip your camera, Chuck.
That's not easy.
No, in
It's
OBS,
really weird.
Chuck. In OBS.
I did flip it.
Well,
you have
unflip
to.
it.
Well, then you guys are going to be watching me upside down. How's that?
No,
Doesn't
not flip
matter, I
it
guess.
top to bottom. Flip it left to right. It says, "Og heck."
Christ almighty, it's like I'm sitting here playing cards with my brother's
I don't
kids or
have a
something.
left or right.
You
So here's the other.
nerve-wracking
Here's the
sons
other
of
view.
bitches.
And you
Yeah,
guys,
that was up-
you
up
should
and
have seen him
down.
trying to figure out how many we had left in inventory.
Oh,
There you go.
We're just going to watch it upside down. All right. So
It's not upside down to us, Chuck.
Now
I
it's
know
fine.
it's not. But my hands are on the wrong side, is what I'm saying.
It's okay.
It's
It's
okay.
like we're sitting
It's all
across
right.
from a table enjoying a nice meal.
It's
Okay.
only
you're
a little
you
tiny
get
bit
your
more
wire.
creepy.
You get your wire. That's 100 feet. Every one of them comes 100 feet. And this one already has,
Get rid of it.
Hey,
it's already
look at that, Mike.
already cut this. All the radios are cut.
Jersey
Set
Mike
up.
likes your box, Chuck.
He's like, I like that box, boy.
That's a fine looking box you got.
So I'm going to get that out of the
Pretty
way.
mouth.
Okay. So let's see how I had this oriented.
Chris Chuck just did a video on that, Matt, so you can check it out. And I'm sure he's got an affiliate link in there.
This thing is pretty awesome, and I've been doing a lot of work with little small parts, and these little cubbies are nice.
Everybody's
See how
got their burden to bear, Charles.
Right.
see that one there? It holds, like, this is the heat shrink. It holds it up so you can grab it easy.
How about that?
So
It's
everything
some
with
modern
these parts-
scientific invention.
These parts
Thank
don't,
you, Mike.
they don't go with
Mike,
this.
thank you. Appreciate it. Mike's been a member for 17 months.
Thank you, Mike.
Mike
So
has
you get
early
your
access
official
to buy this
sticker.
antenna.
Okay. Official sticker. Ooh, can't show you that.
And those are hurricane rated stickers, so you could put it on the box if you wanted to.
In
Right.
a hurricane.
In a hurricane. I mean, especially if you're in Florida.
They're due for one, aren't they?
You
Couple
get your
months,
two
I guess.
wires. Two wires. And we'll stretch those out in a minute. Let me separate them. I've got 6 wire ties over here. I can't show them, but you get 2 1/4-inch bolts, 2 lock washer or 2 star washers, nuts, and then 2. These actually go over here.
Thank you, Dean.
Two wing nuts
It is a
for
16
doing it
antenna.
later. Okay. And then
I
you
do
get
it
your
later
2
with a wing
screws. These 2 screws here are for your SL239, and we added the lock washers. That was one of the things that we were waiting on. You get these 2 small ones, and then we get 2 1/4-inch ones, or 5 1/4-inch ones of these ring terminals. And I was going to show you guys. I left 2 of them on for you guys, so we can show you. I actually like not having them on, the red part on here. Can you see my in this? Here we go. So you just heat it up a little bit.
Easy.
I know this thing's like a torch here, so it don't take very long.
Yeah, I hate those plastic things on there.
You know,
I actually buy them without them. You
you can buy those without them. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be careful, like when you
You
buy
have to be
those,
careful when you buy them, though.
because like they're not always copper coated, whatever. A lot of them are aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
Aluminum's not really that big of a problem, but like some of them are like that. I don't know what you call it, Chinese metal. You know what I mean? Which
This is
less
this is
conductive.
another thing we added after I did the build,
Nice, Rick.
and then so I don't really need that either.
Oh, Lord, Fredward.
So here's your difference. Let me just pull this out of the way first. Here's your Kronos. There's your Poseidon. So there's your difference.
That's a chunky boy.
So
Keep in mind, Don has the non-standard Kronos. He has the ape build.
So it's better.
it still works. It still works. So we'll just leave that over there. You get this, and this, and this. So this is the top, and you know what I used for it? I wound my wire up on an extra winder I had, and I actually latched it with that little carabiner right to this for now. So we'll install that in a bit, and then you get your SL239. This SL239, I think it's for 12 gauge wire, guys. It's pretty huge. I don't know if you can, if it'll focus on it. I think it's huge.
You can fill that cup with solder real easy.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's huge.
And I refilled
Huge.
ours for the picture because it looked like it wasn't done.
It's huge, fabulous, the best ever.
And then these vents, and somebody asked, they do have a little bit of a screen inside. They're kind of big, but they work. This is kind of industry wide, is what people use these for, as Ape told us the other day. These bolts do not belong to this build. This is a different build that. So, let me talk about the box. So you have. All right, so here's the top of the box. I started the holes already. You know, all the holes in the instructions have where to put these holes, and you kind of need to go where we do. If you watch my video, if you drill, let me show you the inside. If you drill in the wrong place, then you won't be able to put your nuts inside there. And that's where Jim likes to keep his nuts. So
In the box?
Right.
In the
Keep them
box.
in that box. They're safe.
Where they're supposed to go.
So I set this for, this is the top. So this will be our, what do I do with it? This will be our little, this will go here. It's roughly a quarter. It's a little bit less than a quarter. It's a metric size. That's all we could find. This side here this will be your ground radial side for your bolts. The opposite side will be your radiating element, and then this will be your vent. And then on the bottom is your SO239. So that's all the holes. I will probably, you guys can talk, and I don't know if I can drill them on. It's kind of hard to drill on screen because it makes a mess. But if you guys want to go ahead and just chat, I'll just work away here since one of us is working. Okay.
That's
We
usually
can
the
do
way
that.
it is. Out of the four of us, it's
So
only
you guys-
one of us working at once.
That's right.
Hey, if you want to address that, I put it up earlier.
Yeah, Hollywood. I read something about that, and they're not donut shaped, right? So in those cases, they're cylindrical. I don't know what the real word is for that, but they're called something other than toroids. I cannot remember exactly what it is. But you see some of the the one toroid that everybody we call the Colin core is taller in that direction, and there's a lot of stuff out there saying, well, the reason the core is more efficient is because of the height of it, not so much the diameter.
Mhm.
I was just reading that. I was like, no, I can't right now.
That's a lot of math on stream, Jody.
Right.
No. So we have exactly 2 mugs left in stock. So if you want one, you need to get it. And I have to walk out to the storage room after the show and fetch one of the mugs that I got to ship off. And I would be glad to fetch the other 2 and ship them all off tomorrow as well. And while we were sold out of the Kronos, we did sell a Poseidon today.
Oh, nice.
And an Aries, right?
Nope, just one Poseidon.
Maybe it was yesterday we sold the Aries.
I don't remember. I'd have to go look at the sales.
No, we probably sent them a Poseidon, even though they ordered Aries.
Jimmy, you had
Nobody
one
ordered.
job.
Nobody ordered. I don't
it hasn't
remember them.
been
I have to
sent
go
yet.
look them up. I don't remember
Hasn't
who
been-
ordered what day.
It's not gone because it got here after I went to the post office.
What, the Poseidon?
Yes.
Yeah, it didn't get ordered till later in the day. And there's also one Kronos outstanding to be shipped as well to Iowa. And I haven't seen him in here. Other Andy got the last one in the store.
There was a Poseidon ordered on the 25th or the 24th.
Yes, we've sold a couple Poseidons. And we are, Rick, that is correct. We are out of chokes.
Okay, so on this one, I drilled it a size small, and I took this
It was Apollo. We sold an Apollo on the 25th.
and just made the hole. So I have to screw it out. Actually, I have to screw it in. So that'd be nice and tight. I'm gonna let whoever got this, I don't know if we're telling, but you can seal it later. Sealing is not included.
Ah,
The
there's
mug
other
show
Andy.
sold out. Of course they do.
Well, then somebody must have ordered one.
Or what?
The mug show
Good.
sold out.
The mug show? Obviously, it didn't get shipped today.
You don't ship mugs, you mug.
I know, and you didn't know you're out, so that's what I'm saying. See what I'm saying?
He couldn't hear it. You think he could see it?
Mm-mm.
Here we are out then.
Look at
There must have
Charles
only been
working
one
that
left.
socket.
So we had a question pop
Based
up
a
in
wrench.
the chat a while back about the toroid winding, wanting to know if it was a 4-to-1 or a 27-to-1 or a 362-to-1.
It is a 4-to-1 Ruthoff voltage anon.
As opposed to the Guanella is the other one.
Well, Guanella is the winding.
Can't remember the
that
other
we
guy's
use
name.
on the current Balun.
Okay. So
So
you got a voltage 4-to-1 and a current 4-to-1.
You can do a Guanella current 4-to-1, but there's a lot of drama around that. They say that it doesn't do appropriate common mode current suppression. So the industry, everybody uses what they call a hybrid Balun, which is the Ruthoff 4-to-1, and then the Guanella 1-to-1 is generally accepted as the best option for a 4-to-1.
Chuck, the question is, go ahead, Ape. Sorry.
I'll say there is drama around should you use an unknown or a 4-to-1 unknown or a 4-to-1 Balun, which is just really how the grounding is done. I've got a video showing that. I use the unknown because that is the recommendation from all the books that I've read. But like hams, they argue everything. So I mean, I haven't put.
I disagree with you on that.
Right. There's no way that hams argue about anything.
You do not. That is so wrong, Ape. I challenge you. Chuck, how do
I
you
tried-
get... Chris Bricker's asking, how do you get the bottom mesh out to build on?
see the two
Unscrews.
screws here? You unscrew those two screws, and we'll do that in a minute.
And then
Okay.
boom, it's out.
I tried really hard to teach my kids. Like the worst thing ever was taking a long car trip and having them in the back just arguing nonstop. And I'm like, can you prove it right here, right now? No. Well, then don't argue about it.
Right. And just
If you have proof, then you're right. Show the proof. If you don't have proof, then shut up.
do the math.
Now, if you look at this, it has I would say this is the side that goes to the box, the flat side, and the rounded side comes out.
Make it pretty
you guys-
to your face.
That's if you guys didn't know it, washers are that way too. They have an inside and outside.
Any
No,
and
I don't put the vent in until after I get the base mounted at the bottom, right?
I don't remember what I did.
Because you got to finesse it in.
Yeah, that's true. I got it in anyhow, but I'll leave it out just for you.
Theo, a question for you.
But I'm
James,
drilling all the holes though.
Go ahead.
James wants to know if the IC703 will tune the Poseidon with the internal tuna.
It's a
I
3-to-1
will
in there.
find out and report back. It should.
It's a 3-to-1 though in there, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, what I can tell you is just because it might for one person doesn't mean it will for another. So with the Poseidon, my 7300 wouldn't tune for, I think it was 40.
I was going to say
the
there's a
internal
couple of
tuner.
bands it may not like. Yeah.
Rick's saying he can't see me get mad. So Rick, I was using the dad voice, not the mad voice. There's a big difference between the two of those. One is authoritative and forceful, but not angry.
Ready to go.
And use that dad voice, but sparingly. If you use it too much, then it just ruins all of its effects.
You're right, Hank. It's a Pellegrino seltzer water. And I hate these cans. They got like these long, goofy cans. I feel like a vegan when I drink out of these cans.
Skinny jeans a little tight.
Right.
Is it making
We've
you
seen
want
his
to do
skinny
QRP?
Right. When I'm drinking out of one of these cans, I want to go right out and do some QRP.
As bad as Ape talks about QRP, he does QRP all the time.
Never.
You do all
You
the
have more QRP radios than you have anything else.
Crunk, you were right. I was drinking Pabst when I was in high school. I love
That-
Pabst beer.
That doesn't count to you.
Now the hipsters all
Right,
like
facts
it too.
don't count.
Right. I was at a bar with my buddies, and it was my turn to buy a round, and they were all drinking like these $7 and $8 perfume smelling fancy pants beers. And when I went over there, they had a barrel like thing full of Pabst, like coated in ice like ice water. And I said to the guy, I was like, how much are those Pabst? And he was like, they're $1 a can. And so I took out a 20. I'm like, give me 20 of them. So I went back and set them on the table. I was like, nobody's going to complain about 20 beers.
I hear this in my head right now, Scott. Like a vegan.
Right.
Oh my God.
Is Chuck drilling over there?
You know, he could be laying on the floor.
I'm trying to get this thing straight. I never
Just
get
had a
it
heart
straight.
attack.
To keep this on somewhat ham adjacent topics, Mike is saying he's had some issues with the 3-to-1 tuner in the 7300 with the Poseidon, but he did get it to work with 50 feet instead of a 25-foot coax run. Everything affects everything. Yeah, the ground, and somebody just mentioned that too. It depends on what your ground is like. It depends on.
Yeah. A lot of people say that the length of the coax doesn't matter, but if you take your impedance measurement at your antenna feed point and then you connect your coax to it and you take your reading again, it should be relatively close, minus any loss that you have in your coaxial cable. But on the outer ring of a Smith chart, you have towards the transmitter and away from the transmitter, and then you can figure out the electrical length of your coax cable. So it's 100 feet. If it's 65% velocity factor, then it's electrically 65 feet long. And then you can calculate on the Smith chart, draw a circle to your impedance point, and then calculate either forward or reverse, depending on which way you're measuring. And it will show you the composition of your reactance changes. Antenna tuners work by rotating reactance. They can either lag or speed up voltage and current. And so that's why some tuners can tune a 3-to-1 and some tuners can't tune a 3-to-1. It's because of the composition of the reactance. That's probably more than anybody wanted to know. But
that's actually pretty interesting. It's also going to be dependent on the band as well.
Yeah.
And I don't have the graphic anywhere where I could possibly find it, but you remember when we started testing the Kronos, I think, and some of the bands looked way better, much more tunable.
Yeah.
Than a couple of the other bands. And I think like 10 was like, I don't know, 1.7 to 1 or something on 10 meters. It was stupid good on 10 meters for mine.
Yeah. Well, like Hollywood he's right. Use a 1,000 feet of 58. And
that man is a genius. Truly.
Right. You might even have lower than 1.5.
Problem solved.
You'll be operating QRP regardless.
Yeah, right.
Transmitter.
Kilowatt in and 1 watt out.
It's funny because like some people don't believe that that's true.
What's that?
How much power you can lose because of your coax.
Yeah.
And I've had really good luck with 2 different Yaesus on it. And pretty much anywhere I tried it, it's worked good for tuning. Just a different kind of tuner, I guess. All right. Ooh, that's really big looking. Sorry. Am I still on the camera?
I wouldn't say that SWR is an overrated measure. I think the thing is it doesn't. I know you disagree because hams like to argue.
Right.
It's an index. It's an index of your power output versus your input. That's what it's telling you. And as long as you understand what that is, because I know somebody out there wants to type right now, well, you can get a 1-to-1 SWR on a dummy load. Yes, you can, because that index is at 1-to-1. Yes.
That's the most overrated, maybe overused thing that hams say, but maybe it's mighty fine junk. Like whenever somebody talks about anything,
the 50-watt dummy load thing.
Yeah, you get some dumbass who's like, "It's mighty fine junk, boy." It's like, dude, come up with more.
Do you miss
original.
them now?
Yeah, I was like, you should come up with something a little more original.
Yeah, a
And
little-
you know, for somebody making a lot of mighty fine junk, it seems like they were doing pretty good until Martin decided he was tired of running the business because he's an old dude and wanted to go to the house. You know?
Well, so the thing is like a lot of people are like, well, it tunes on 80, it tunes on 160, you know, and they'll go ahead and use the antenna. But part of the problem that you get with the cores is that these are low inductance cores, and it takes a lot of energy. So we have alternating current. So you build a magnetic field when energy's going out, and it reverses direction when it's coming back in. And when you get really low frequency, that magnetic field gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's invisible, so you can't see it, but it's got to kind of spin and then stop and turn and go, you know, back and forth. That takes a bunch of energy, and that energy ends up turning into heat in your core. And when you get that heat build up in there, you get to your Curie point.
Thank you.
And that can become a problem. But the other one is that even before it gets to its Curie point, you can still have a problem with saturation where the core loses its ability to be magnetic at that point in time. So Mike's 100% right. Like when people start talking about SW, well, it tuned, that's still not an indicator that the antenna is fit for purpose.
Right.
Fit for purpose.
I mean, the tuner will make your radio happy. But
Well, you end up with a toasted toroid like I did, and like
Yep.
like our friend Foamer Frank.
well, Fulmer Frank could have been because he used excessive solder and
Well, he tuned.
low
He
of
sent
an
me a
iron.
video. He sent me a video saying, and we love Frank, by the way, even though he's a foamer. He sends me a video. He's like, look, I'm transmitting on 160. And I'm like, son, we told you not to do that. And then the next day he shows me a picture of his toasted core. I'm just like, sorry, son.
Yep. Well, you got yours pretty toasty. Ape was doing
It's because I was on 80 and
80.
and I had the element get stuck in that tree branch. I think has something to do with it, but it's because I got greedy, man. I got excited. I was able to get it on 80 and I just kept going.
You were excited because you knew you'd be the youngest person on 80 meters.
Listen, I didn't pay for it and I didn't pay for the replacement. So I was
Okay.
I was like 100% okay, but it still works. Like I still use it.
Somebody asked if you could use it on 80, and my answer was
No.
probably just want to. Well, no, the answer is not totally no. That's an experience talking there, but
No.
if you put a longer wire, the way it comes, no. But if you put a longer wire, just like a 41, just like the 9-to-1, it should be better, right?
I guess Chuck just missed the last 5 minutes. No. 40 and up.
Why is that? Why can't you put a longer radio on it and do 80?
I will show you the clip that I just explained. I'll clip this out and send it to you.
But you didn't have a longer radio on
busy.
yours when you had yours.
And I cooked the core.
I know, because you had the regular length radio on it, right? You had a 41 foot.
It had nothing to do with the radio.
He's
And
asking
plus
if
you
you
had
can put a longer one on and get better.
You're still going to have the problem with the core getting hot because of the size of the magnetic field around it, and it's rotating back and forth, and the core's permeability. It's going to be a problem.
I smell a video, Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not picking sides. I just smell a video.
Yeah. So operate it for 6 minutes in your 8-minute video, and you'll never know.
I mean, now do FT8 for 8 or 10 minutes.
Well, I did for like 2 hours, and it was cooked.
Yeah. Marvin, I think you can just turn the knob
Notice how
all
I
the way
said
to
prove it?
11 and
So-
go for it.
Yeah, whatever. I'll agree to disagree.
Doc Brad, thank
But
you
I won't
for
agree
the...
to make a video and prove myself right.
Oh, I'll do it.
I'll just argue because I'm a ham. Doc Brad, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. That is an interesting point. That would take some... Doc is asking, what were the top 25 MFJ products you needed, and what is the replacement now that they're gone? And I can only think of one or two off the top of my head.
Well, the big things are the surge protectors and
Hand
the
sticks.
tuners. Right?
Yeah.
And oddly enough, we're going to be talking about the tuners. on
The SWR,
Saturday.
the SDR switch.
What is
And
it?
there's a
DX
replacement for it.
Yeah, DX Engineering has one.
Yeah.
They have an
They don't
OPEC.
they don't make it, I don't
OPEC.
think, but
OPEC. Oh, that's for the 25-foot stainless steel. I just saw that today. Sorry.
the whip. The whip.
Yeah, OPEC. OPEC has one.
Oh, do they?
Michael
Says
has
heavy
a
duty,
legitimate
too.
question. Would two of the cores together make running 80 better?
No.
Because
Because why?
You have the same problem. They're super low permeability cores, and then you have the problem with the currents going back and forth and causing the heat build up in the core. And then powdered iron cores, iron holds heat, right? So once it gets hot, it stays hot, and then if you keep running power in there, it's not like it's going to cool off.
Hollywood saying them 11-meter mobile shootouts, chilling their
He's never
the
been
roids-
to one. Heavy.
their
Heavy.
roids with nitrous oxide. And that's an interesting. Somebody mentioned this earlier. Sinking the whole thing in a bucket of mineral oil or something,
Okay, I've got everything installed except
or
for.
cooling.
I wouldn't do it.
I mean, if you want to carry a bucket of mineral oil out to your POTA, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you filled that box with mineral oil, you're going to get seepage, right?
Well, it's going to leak out of the vent, yeah.
Right, or somewhere along the line.
I mean, we are drilling holes in the box.
Now Jody's throwing out what sounds like some science here.
He's 100% right. That's what I was talking about earlier. Independent of element length, your magnetic field continues to get bigger and bigger when you go lower in frequency around the core, and the energy gets wasted moving that back and forth because we use AC current, right? And it goes, and that magnetic field is constantly moving directions.
But you haven't tested it. You just saying that, right?
I did test it, Chuck.
He
I did
burnt
burn
his
up that
was the
core.
burnt one.
Yeah, but
And
you
then-
also had it wrapped around your.
Okay, fine.
thing, right?
It's fine. You're right.
There was more than one thing going on when you did it.
There wasn't more than one thing going on when our friend Foamer
was or there
Frank did
wasn't?
it. There wasn't when Foamer Frank was doing it.
Yeah,
right?
he was doing 160, right?
He did 160. We don't know for how long, and then he said he did 80. But there's a reason that they pick certain cores for certain applications. This one it works well for what we're doing, 40 and up. But when you go in lower frequency, when you talk about the element length, Chuck, what you're talking about is really the amount of current that flows on your antenna, your element at that point in time, and the amount of radiation resistance that you see. Right. And with the longer one, it gets closer to resonance there, which definitely helps with your far field plots and radiation patterns. It doesn't hardly do anything about the core heat.
So, asking a completely different question. If you change the length of the element, the core has to do a different type of transformation. I don't know more or less, but different. So would that be a contributing factor? Because there's,
Well, you would
there's less
see
to convert from 200 to 50.
You would see a different impedance ratio, right? So with a longer antenna, what you're going to get is a different composition of reactance. It could be better on some bands, it could be worse on some bands, right? You wouldn't know until you had the wire and then you tested it and all that. What it doesn't do is change the permeability of the core, and it doesn't change the fact that lower frequencies get a giant magnetic field around them that has to still be rotated. And that energy turns into heat in the core, and the powdered iron gets hot, and you have a problem.
So the mineral oil and the vegetable oil comments are coming in, and you can literally put it in a bucket of oil. Literally,
Put it in a Ziploc.
You don't even need to do that. The oil's non-conductive. It isn't going to change anything.
I'm just saying.
So-
So it doesn't
And
make a
actually, they
mess.
do it with transformers all the time. Those big green
Yeah.
boxes in your yard.
Yeah, that's full of oil and PCBs.
Well, the ones that are on the poles, right? Those transformers
Yes, those are
full of oil.
absolutely. And the other thing is, and Hacks with Hacks mentions you need to move the coolant to keep it cool. Yeah, if you don't have much, yes. I mean, you guys have seen, and I know Kassler's had it on his shows 100 times. I don't have one because I'm not cool like Kassler. Them paint cans full of oil, the cantenas,
Right.
that
You make
Heath,
one of those?
he's got a Heath kit one.
I made one.
Steve made
we all
one out of
made one.
bacon fat.
Bacon grease. It was tasty.
And I mean, if you put it in something like a paint can, you're going to have to work at it a little while to heat it up because it'll absorb a lot of heat. And now by the time you get done playing 80 meter FT8 for 3 hours on an antenna we've told you not to play 80 meter FT8 on, you may be able to fry chicken in that bucket, but
why would you go to all that grief instead of just using an antenna design? I know, I got you. Like,
Because
if
science,
you
it's-
operated on the moon where the temperature's cooler, you would.
Yeah.
right?
It seems cheaper.
Well,
than
and you
getting
don't
another
have you don't
antenna.
have air to conduct the heat. So yeah,
But
the
I need my
vacuum would
80
help.
meters to talk about my gout.
Right. Cool it off with some of the vegan water. That's what Mike said. That's right, Mike.
The devil water.
And somebody mentioned putting a Peltier cooler on it too. That would
Get
work,
one of those
except that's
fans that
got
they put on their wood stoves. Yeah.
yeah.
But then you're putting metal directly onto the core.
Yeah, the
in order
the
to get
Peltier
cool
cooler
down.
would
that,
affect
that won't
it, yeah.
affect anything.
Probably not.
It'll be fine.
And Jody, exactly correct with the science once again. Ham harder and cook chicken at the same time.
Seems like a win-win. Finger licking good.
Mm-hmm.
Bring the kernel out to the pota.
And I mean, if you want to chef it up, you could make some, some haricot vert, deep fried haricot vert.
Ooh, dump it in a big tank of water and use sous vide. There you go. There's a test for you, Jim.
Well, yeah, the sous vide is just a circulator. It also heats it, but you could turn the heat off, I guess.
Well, no, you're using the core for the heat and the improper radiation of 80 meters.
Right.
That steak's going to be good and tender. Google would approve.
I think what it is Ape just doesn't like chicken. That's what this
I love
seems like.
chicken.
He's from the South,
Love it.
son. Love chicken. So I don't know if y'all know this. Jim, you should know this because you're in the South now, but that was how you judge whether a woman was fit to marry in the past.
What her
Tell
chicken
they
was
can fry
like.
chicken.
How well
good
she made
their
fried chicken.
Yep.
Mhm. And that she lets you get the nice tender dark meat and not them dried old chicken breast. I hate chicken breast.
Mhm.
Doc, I have heard cancer, which I think tops most of them, and all sorts of GI diseases. It's like, oh
It's
my God.
usually the prostate.
That one,
gout,
yeah.
right? Prostate gout, and maybe cirrhosis. I don't know what the other one is. Look, they're talking about chicken breast. I think that is the worst cut of meat that you could eat.
Yes.
It's completely flavorless. It's dry, easy to overcook and become tough. It is the worst.
Now, my wife, she likes chicken breast. She hates dark meat. I'm like, okay, baby, we got a marriage made in heaven here because I don't want no nasty ass chicken breast.
If
I'm
you
a
can
fine-
trust your farmer
fine
and you
leg
can get
man.
good quality fresh chicken, like the kind that you might have dispatched yourself earlier in the day, you can make those chicken breasts not overcooked and dry. You can do like medium rare if you want.
Well, you have to be reasonably skilled.
Exactly right, Dean.
At cooking them. But the problem is a part of the breast is thick, and then it goes down to where it's thin.
Mm-hmm.
So heat management of your cooking surface becomes a huge thing, right? To get a consistent temperature inside the chicken.
Yep.
It's just
You gotta paillard the chicken if you're gonna have even cooking
and
on it.
chicken breast is like just get the thighs.
Tonight
Chicken
on
thighs have
Cooking
gone
with
real up
Coffee
in
and Ham
price a lot.
Radios. So if you're cooking the whole bird, the dark meat takes longer to cook, and by the time the dark meat is ready, the white meat is all dried out.
Yeah, so I spatch them, right? I get them flat bird.
Oh, you weren't going to say the whole word.
No,
Too hot for
And-
YouTube.
Right, and keep the breast up because more of the heat is coming up from the bottom of the bird.
That's right, 45. Fried chicken on Sunday and watch Wide World to Disney. And then after Disney was off, if I was good, I could stay up and watch Lawrence Welk.
Oh boy.
We used to
You might
watch
need some coffee to make that Lawrence Welk
I'm like,
work.
please, Mom, can I go to bed now? I don't want to watch Lawrence Welk again.
We used to watch the Wide World of Sports on Sundays with the agony of defeat.
What was that? The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
See, look, Chuck's got a pro move right here showing you that. Pay attention. This is the best way to wrap a toroid.
Well, it's him big and Charles. Look at them hands. Kind of dark, but
Like his soul.
My light went off.
Truly.
Sorry about that. Better?
oh,
there we go.
Wow. Okay.
It's like a different video.
It's like a video about building an antenna.
Let's see. Does this one do the thing? Nope, that doesn't do the thing. There is one of these views.
Which one are you trying to do?
Not that one. That ain't it.
No, I'm not clicking anything, so that's all you.
No,
buddy.
I know. I'm
Picking my
doing
nose.
No, we had one where it's because he's not sharing the screen. So if I do this one here, can we do that?
100%
see, it'll
great.
put us on top of it. But we can't do that view because Chuck's using the main camera. We'll solo him.
Chuck, talk us through your technique here for doing this, old man, because you
So-
wrap.
Special.
I give Chuck a lot of crap, but he can wrap a toroid better than Ape even.
Nah, come on, crazy talk.
Not really. So basically, Ape and I both do this. You bring it up, get it nice and tight,
Snug, son.
and then when you come over, push it down with your thumb, right against the side.
Yeah, that's
that-
the easiest way to not kink it.
That was my question. So that helps it stay not kinky.
Right.
And I started with 5.5 inches out. It should work out pretty good. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And I'm not going to be naming names. I mean, Chuck's particularly good at winding cores, but
Scott,
there's some YouTubers out there that wind a core. I'm like, looks like I wouldn't be showing that. Like I was proud of it.
Yeah, use the heat shrink.
Yeah, the heat shrink is a good pro tip too.
Walk us through this heat shrink pro tip.
What people do is they'll put like a little like centimeter of heat shrink every couple inches on their magnet wire. to
oh
hold it.
wow, yeah, just to hold
hold
the
it
pieces together. Yeah,
Yeah.
how come that's not in our instruction?
Well, it's a huge hassle. And if you just take your time and be tender with it, you can get one that looks like that. And the other thing is that Hamstick Eric likes roasted chicken breast. These cores are slick because of the enamel coating on them, so it makes it really easy to get see how he's moving them around like that with uncoated cores. That becomes a little bit of a challenge.
So my video I did, this is what I told Jim to do when he did his.
Yeah,
is
you
just
didn't mark it, did you?
You marker crossed, and do that. So you have 8 of those, and that kind of gives you depending on how good you do with marker. I didn't do it this time, no. So then we count them on the inside, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I just kind of try and get them.
Mike, see you, buddy.
Decent.
Later, Mike.
Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. That's right. So
We used to watch that and Bonanza.
old Marlon Perkins would be like, my friend Jim is going to go out and take the cub away from the mother lion while the mate watches. This is very dangerous. I'll be in the hide holding the camera. Poor Jim. That guy always had to go out and do like the. Jim
to
is
do
going
all
to
the
go out
work.
and
Well, he was the
polish
young guy.
rhino. He's going to go out and polish the rhino's horn in a nest of pissed off rhinos.
He's going to collect
Jim's
the
like,
sample.
I'm going to do what?
He didn't know what he was doing until he showed up for work.
I think that's exactly right.
Okay, so then what we're going to do, Ape, we're going to take the 2 middle ones, right?
Right.
This one's going to go kind of. Actually, you know what I'm going to do with that one? I'm going to. I don't know if I can or not. I'm going to see if I can push it through here. which I can.
That is like the color of my mom's fridge back in the year of our Lord 1970 something.
The commodes used to be that. Man, hold on.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that avocado?
I wouldn't call this avocado. You know what you're talking about, though. So that's the outside one. And I'm just putting it there just to kind of hold it in space there.
Freddie says that's seafoam. It may be.
Yeah, it's more like
I thought seafoam has a little more blue in it, though.
It's blue on the bottom. Man, oh man, I am having trouble over here.
Are you having a stroke?
Now, everybody around here is sick with this like crazy cough, and I've had like this stuffed nose for like 2 weeks now. It drives me insane.
What do we got to do now, Ape? We got to take off the...
Scrape that enamel and get the center.
Are you going to Dremel that or scrape it, Charles?
Yeah, I should drink
Dremel
my
in it, but it
Pellegrino.
doesn't
Where's
feel
your-
like it's in my...
Where's
Oh,
your
there it is.
cordless Dremel?
It's there. It's there. I didn't charge it today, though.
Ape does hand out some good advice besides a lot of snark. Ape was all about the cordless Dremel. I had done the razor blade, and I tried burning it off, and that
I do
didn't work.
both. Burning,
The Dremel makes a
burns
huge mess, though.
Dremel is awesome.
Do it outside when you Dremel because it is a mess.
I do it at my desk where the little fumes come up in my nose and there's little rosin particles.
It's probably
It's like
okay.
it's like when you
do-
solder, everything comes right to your face.
I love
Right.
it.
All-
I love
all
the
the
smell of
smoke.
solder. But
And lead.
when I would do like 5 cores to do testing and stuff like that, the mess that it would make when you use the Dremel was just out of control.
So do you guys think I've used this a few times? Look. It's done. It's a dead soldier.
Glenn's concerned he could catch the flu watching this. Ape might be a super spreader.
That could be.
It probably
Glenn, you're
is.
absolutely correct. You should worry.
Glenn, what I would do if I was you, bro, is put on a mask. That way you're
Right.
safe.
All by yourself in your ham shack watching.
Oh, T.O. Hamman's got him a Knippix stripper.
He must be high dollar.
I had a German stripper once.
Uh-oh.
What was his name?
Ange und Frange.
They pump you up. It's from all that chicken, Jimmy.
Okay, Jody has got what might be a legitimate question. The aspirin soldering iron trick he mentioned last year, I don't remember that.
I think it was for cleaning the iron. Like you
Oh,
hold it on an aspirin.
Okay.
I'm using it, but I'm going to do it over the trash can, guys. Sorry.
Chuck bought that cordless Dremel. He got that
I got
Harbor
the
Freight
same.
discount. Did you?
Yeah, I got the one you, whatever one you were pimping on Amazon, I think.
No, mine's actually corded.
Oh, well then I guess I got whichever one. I got whichever. Chuck and I looked at them, and I ended up buying one. He bought one. I think we got the same one.
I think so.
I think is mine is it Kai Wheats, Chuck? Is that what we bought?
It's a Hardell is what mine is.
Oh, then we don't got the same one. I don't know. They're pretty cheap, and having a cordless Dremel is a game changer because you can just do this right over the trash can or whatever.
If you're doing the end of the wire, make sure there's a right way and a wrong way.
And James, thank you for being a member for 11 months. And James would take avocado over the Harvest Gold of Chuck's mat.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like parquet.
Right.
This?
I can't believe it's not butter.
Right, Bill?
Well, ain't nothing going on the screen. We'll just let everybody stare at Chuck's mat
Sorry.
for a
There
while.
you go.
There you go. Nice.
Magic.
So
All right,
double
now,
twist.
so explain, how do you know which wires you're twisting there, buddy?
I told you before you weren't listening. The middle ones, the 2 middle ones, right? We're going to put them together.
Is that
And you want to make sure that
The left and
none
the
of them are
left?
crossed.
or is that the left and the right?
This one here,
The two middle ones?
and that one there. This one here, and that one there. The
Yeah,
two middle
yeah.
ones.
So-
the two in the middle,
Okay.
which would be the middle ones.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
essentially, you're
and just-
creating a really easy way to do one long winding, and then you're tapping it in the center.
Yeah, and just make sure that none of your windings are crossed over.
Now, talk about, because we see this question a lot in our email support questions and in Discord. I want to test for continuity to make sure I got my wires straight. What's the best way to do that? Because after it's put together, continuity is not going to work exactly right.
Yeah, right now, all the wires are connected, right? So if you put any of the ends together, right now you're going to have continuity.
Right.
Oh yeah,
So-
Jody's saying that the aspirin takes the enamel off the magnet wire. So I guess you put the magnet wire on top of the aspirin and then hold your soldering iron on top of the magnet wire. And I guess it does like photosynthesis or something like that.
Osmosis.
Thank you, Hamstick Eric, for being a member for 22 months.
And sick.
And then Philly Ed there's got 32 months.
He's an OG.
He'd been
Yeah,
around a minute.
Glenn, yes. He's going to twist them after he scraped the enamel because you want those two connected.
So it's soldered.
And then he tacked it.
And then I push it in just a little ways. So what we're going to end up doing is just using one of those wires. So this one's doesn't really matter. This one here,
Zigward.
and I'm going to snap the other one off, guys.
And thank you, Freddie Mac.
Freddie, your 19 months are quality, buddy.
It feels a lot longer with Freddie, though.
Freddie, I pretend this is like a heart or something like you kids do.
And then I'm going to cut this down about to there for now, because that's going to go into the center of this SO239, right?
And pro
And I'm going
tip
to go
from
ahead and
me
just
on
get
that,
rid of everything.
I wanted to make sure before I cut wire off that was going to fit. So I kind of dry fit the toroid on top of the winder when I did this on the Poseidon. On the Kronos, it isn't going to be exactly the same way, but you want to try and center up that toroid as much as possible. So I would still try to dry fit it in there and get a good idea on the length.
And that's what I did.
Off camera where no one could see it.
Well, he's got
don't know.
he's got an experienced eye there. He knows just how long it's got to be.
But it's
I
gonna
don't
be
doubt
short.
that. I don't doubt that he does. I hope he's not short.
You just got to mount that
Hey,
toroid lower.
If it's short, I just add a piece to it. It's hard to mess up.
Cooley, thank you for being a member for 11 months.
Thank you, Cooley.
Are we going to be still in February on Saturday?
No, we'll be in
No,
March.
this is your last Coffee and Ham Radio show to get your membership milestone super chats out there. That's the one free one y'all members get every month.
Like Abe said, I'm going to take this out just to make it easier for now. I'm just going to take it loose. No, I'm going to take it out.
Andy has been a member for 33 months.
Actually, I'm not going to take it out. I'm just gonna
I don't know what an ape apple pie video is.
Yeah, I'm not sure I do either, being honest.
Oops. Garth has been a member for 27 months, and he did not have anything snarky to say. Garth, you wasted a shot right there, buddy.
Right, you could have made fun of somebody.
Oh boy, Bill. Bill may have it. Every time Chuck's hands are off the camera. Knock it back to brown liquor.
I do have some brown stuff here, but it's Coke.
Yeah, Bill's right on there, and his hands get a little steadier as the time goes on.
That's right. Taking the edge off.
Oh, shoot. We got to drill some holes. So,
See, I didn't drill holes in mine.
yeah, and you probably, well, these are probably bigger than what you use, but The problem is these go through here. I mean, if you get it sideways, well, let's try it. It might work. So we've got this one ready. This one's, I'm going to cut this one off too because it's going to go up to here to the bolt. So I'm just kind of, like Jim was saying, just kind of getting it kind of centered. And then I always cut a little extra longer.
Yeah. Marvin, thank you for the $10 super chat. Appreciate it.
Marvin.
Thank you,
Awesome.
sir.
Marvin's going to go do POTA in minus 25 degrees in South Dakota.
Right. So we need to stop here. Like, let Chuck catch up. Give him some rest and relaxation, some R time, and we need to talk about the coffee because we have lowered the price on the coffee. So this is the plus 6 dB reserve, which is actually a fine complement to the Kronos antenna that Chuck is building because isn't it a plus 6 dB antenna all on its own in addition to the plus 6 dB coffee? So you're operating at plus 24 dB at that point because of how we math on stream.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I've checked all the numbers. It seems legit.
It checks out. Yeah, we have this morning net coffee, which is a breakfast blend. I'm trying not to make this stuff too hard for everybody. And we did just come off the math high, so we'll take it easy for this next round.
Right.
This is a breakfast blend coffee for you to enjoy your morning net, which in this case is from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. If you get up a little earlier, we'll forgive you. Maybe it's a time zone thing. I don't know. And then for you people like Ape that don't believe in the magic of QRP, we have this QRO high test coffee, and this is a French roast. It's a very dark. The private reserve
It's a medium roast.
Is the Mexican Chiapas, and I do believe that Jim is correct. It's a medium roast. And we're making our plans for Dayton coming up here, and we are working on having a table at the vendor night. And that's a QRP thing. So I don't know if Ape's going to attend that one or not. So y'all can come to the vendor night on Thursday at 4 Days in May, right before Dayton. And he won't be there to heckle you, so it'll be okay.
I'm going to have the cardboard sign out front. You know how that guy...
Protest.
Are you going to be protesting? Real hams don't QRP.
Right.
Stephen LeBlanc, thank you for the 7-month membership.
Yeah. We'll take 7 months.
All right, we're running over. I'll be right back.
All right.
Oh, we know.
We know.
Yeah.
Go with God.
I tried to get you out earlier.
Hank
phoning
has
it
been
in.
a
Oh, that's
member
right.
11 months.
Oh, that's
Thank
right.
you, Hank.
Tonight's the short show, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
It does take long when you have hecklers and cameras. Oh, I like that, Hertz. 2x the caffeine. Call it Pirate Station. And Rick is saying the Kronos takes a bit longer to build. It does. You got to get out your drill motor. There's more parts. More parts,
Yeah.
more power, more permanent, less cost for some reason.
Mm-hmm. So we kind of want to
No
center
monkey
this
poop
on.
coffee. Absolutely correct. Only the best coffee.
Sorry, I'd show this to you guys, but I kind of need to see what I'm doing here.
Yeah, we just see the back of your head.
You can?
Oh, Starman's got a good one there. Tommy, that is genius. 7200 with a kick. That could be
Is
our
this tall,
high
Tommy?
performance blend. I think so, if I remember
Have you
right.
seen this Tommy in person?
Yeah. If I'm remembering the right YouTube name and the right face, I believe that is Tommy.
Super tall Tommy from Huntsville.
Yeah.
See, the problem with not drilling the holes out, it works, but the problem is it's hard to twist it, get it tight.
Didn't Abe say he just went to the doctor? Why did he have to leave? He got
he
a
had to
clean
go.
bill of health.
You got to go make water, I'm sure.
But obviously, you might need to change his doctor.
Troy, I like it. That's right. We'll wind your roid for a pork chop sandwich.
So Jimmy's got a question for us. We did have quite a lively discussion about the internal tuner workings with this, and the answer is, as always in ham radio, it depends. So it should. Now the should part comes because your dirt, your ground might not have enough of the proper grounding principles, and you can fix that by adding more radials or lengthening your radials or shortening your radials depending on the kind of ground you have to help your tuner get this tuned up. So what happens with this antenna is it's a 25-foot wire, which is not really resonant on 40 meters, obviously. And in order to bring that into resonance, we use a 4-to-1 unun at the bottom of the antenna, and then your internal tuner sees something a little bit easier to match and then can match that. So you're kind of tuning something that's been auto-transformed, if you understand what's going on there. And
It also
that
is
where the
Go ahead.
magic is. That's where the magic is.
it's also band dependent. You'll find that some bands will tune much better than other bands, and that's all based on what T.O. was just saying. So,
And your ground.
we just covered that.
That was the
We
Okay,
did
beginning.
I'm
that.
sorry.
That was
I
the
got you.
start. Yes. So it depends on those factors, and there are multiple factors, and it's really hard to just nail down everything.
Yeah.
Some of them may be over 4-to-1 out of whack.
If you're in the desert or you're in the swamp, those are two different worlds of RF ground.
Yeah.
When I went to get my prostate exam done, the doctor asked me.
Lord.
They said, "Do you pee a lot?" And I was like, "Well,
All the time.
I say I go about once an hour, but I do drink a lot of liquid. I was like, stay hydrated."
I watched all the shows.
And then they said, "Well, you know, how was the stream?" And I'm like, "You just had me pee in a jar. I could have showed you. You know what
could
I
have
mean?
done
Like
it in front of you. You could have
right?
held
We're
it. Yeah.
we're going to get friendlier than that in a few minutes. So I mean, it wouldn't have been no big deal."
Lee, thank you for the $10 super chat.
I don't understand the question, but we are grateful
gonna
for
let
the
it go.
super chat.
Yeah. Moving on. Thank you, Lee. Much appreciated for the super chat, my friend. Paul said he got you beat.
It's just the way God made us.
Chuck, give us a life check over there. You still upright?
All right,
Still alive.
We need proof of life. Hold up today's newspaper, Chuck. That could be a recording of his hands.
Oh, wait a minute. You still get a newspaper? Really?
No, I figured you probably did.
So what I
me.
tell people, like at work, a lot of times we have to dispatch technicians to go do stuff, and they're like, I'm at the customer site, and I'm like, I need a selfie, and I want you to make a gang sign in the selfie, right? So that way I know it's not a reused or recycled selfie. It's got to have the gang sign in there, and then that way I know that they're actually there.
Oh, I like hearing that. And it just left the screen. Hollywood said I was right.
I
Yeah,
saw it was up there long enough.
Well, so what's crazy, Hollywood, is right. Like you put a capacitance hat on a short antenna to make it look electrically longer too. And so I ask a ham question on my channel. What? Oh, I hope I did them for this week. So anyhow, I ask a question, and I asked what the purpose of a capacitance hat is, and so many people were telling me the capacitance makes the antenna seem shorter, but it's around the placement of the capacitance, and everybody wanted to argue about it.
Well, it's like putting your loading coil in the middle of the antenna as opposed to at the base of the antenna, base loaded vertical versus a center loaded vertical. It does different things.
Yeah,
And
when you put it at the you can even put them at the top, but when you put them in the middle, it allows you to get more current on the lower part of the antenna because the coils are super lossy. And people don't like to talk about that when they do videos on Wolf River coils. But the coils are lossy, so the further up that you get them mounted, the more RF you're going to get off of your antenna.
Chuck has that pro with the screwdriver. Did you see that? Like he's just like spinning it, letting go.
Like
I
it's
mean,
a
he's
top
got
or
Back in before it
something
falls
like that.
over.
Very supple wrist action.
Yeah,
Like
and
years
I
and
lost
years
the
of
screws. So
practice.
I found it though.
I've got a screwdriver where the end of it is like on a swivel, You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And
Jeweler screwdriver type.
So
so like you
ratchet-
can just
ratchet
spin it like
screwdriver.
you can spin it like this with the hold it. In
No,
the
not a
palm.
ratchet. I'll show you.
Oh, I got some too. I got some Allen. They're like that. They're just free spinning, and you hold the.
I happen to have one here, so yeah.
Yeah.
This spins,
Yeah.
and what you can do is you can go like this.
Yeah, it's super good. Like they're really nice for when you're tuning something. Like those little like potentiometers or whatever that have the screw
Yeah.
in there.
The
Surprised that these kits
iFixit
don't
kit.
come. Well, yeah, I get it.
The iFixit kit has the handle is like that free spin. That's a downside to that Kaiweets kit. While I love that it has all 10,000 oddball bits.
The motorized kit.
Yeah, the motorized kit. I honestly think the non-motorized kit is probably a better deal because the motor is just sad.
Some of these guys have
Does it cry a lot or what?
active imagination. And then Hollywood's giving us some science there.
You're adding capacitance at the far end, which tunes the resonance lower and pushes the current more evenly over the entire length of the radiator, which makes it antenna better. Yes, Ed, I love my Kaiweets kit generally, but the torque on it is just...
If you have it charged all the way though, the torque's a lot better. Like I noticed that as the battery in it dies, you lose a lot of torque.
Yeah. Yeah, and I still have an iFix. My wife bought me an iFixit kit several years ago, the full deluxe kit.
You're still waiting to fix something
She
though?
loves you.
No, I love that iFixit kit.
Does your Kaiweets kit have this thing in it?
Yes.
Because
Well,
this
that
will
thing's
take
pretty-
your Amazon screwdriver and convert it to your Kaiweets tips.
I think I've done that.
Yeah,
So
the
this
thing's
is
super
your-
handy.
Typical, DeWalt, Milwaukee, whatever, handyman, real working man kind of screwdriver bit size on this end.
Well,
And it's this funky little bit size on that end.
I don't think that's a 1/4 inch on that end.
It's like
I've
a
got-
vegan.
This
it's like
is
a
like an
vegan.
extension.
A vegan.
No, it doesn't have that. I have one in the Kaiweets kit, I know. I mean, in the iFixit kit, the Kaiweets doesn't. This Kaiweets doesn't have that. The only bad thing about that Amazon screwdriver, that thing will strip out a Phillips in a New York minute, man.
On which one?
That Amazon screwdriver.
Well, a lot of the screwdriver kits, they come with like these super soft bits. You know what I mean? And the bit themselves can become deformed, and that drives me bonkers.
I just hate Phillips screws.
I like them. I actually prefer them.
Phillips?
I feel like I get more of a bite on the screw when I'm screwing
Torx,
it.
man.
Torx or JIS or Robertson, anything is
But
better than
it's the same
Phillips.
thing with like some screws. Like I swear the screws on like any ham radio chassis are made out of butter because those things will strip. No, I'm not going to say what I was
Phillips,
gonna
and
say,
see,
but they'll
Phillips
strip
screws,
pretty fast.
Phillips screws will cam out so fast. If you don't have enough downward pressure on the screw and you put something
were
like that
designed to
Amazon
do that.
screwdriver on it, yes, I know. And it will,
Finito.
and then you have a metal dish.
So you're
Well,
not,
and then you gotta get
by
the
design,
Dremel
you're
out.
not supposed to push that hard. You're just supposed to put it in and let it cam out. And that's when you know that you're done.
Well, the other thing is that people use the wrong size drill bit or screwdriver tip. and
Screwdriver
that
tip.
also-
Number 2 is the most
Yes.
popular. People usually shove number 1s in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chuck's smoking.
Notice that Chuck is not using one of those skinny jeans wearing pine sills.
Worked fine for me last time I used
Tio,
it, which was,
speaking of-
that's right, Monday night live.
Speaking of pine sills, this is the one you
Sweet.
have?
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
I thought it'd be bigger.
It doesn't need to be big to get the job done, Jim.
I mean,
How many
if that's
kids
what
you
you
have?
tell yourself every day.
That work all right there, Abe?
Looking good, Chuck.
So, I usually put this on first. I should have done that already. But so the wire, you can't really crimp this stuff very well. Uh-oh.
Zigward says Torx are the schniz, and
Yeah.
I agree with Ziggy.
Smart man said that about 5 minutes ago.
Yes, and T.O. said that. Yeah.
Dave is asking about your 710. Did you get that rusty, crusty old screw out of there?
No, it's still in there. I decided I don't care nearly enough to screw with it much more. Actually, I probably will. I just haven't taken it out to the shop where I can secure it a little better and get at it.
You need to put some of that 3-in-1 on there.
Well, I also got a back out set out in the shop, and so I can put a back out in there.
You can take the Dremel, and they have like the grinding wheels,
And shave the head off, or just put a cross in it.
Yeah, you can put a cross in it, but you can just put a slot in it. That way, yeah, you can use a minus screwdriver. Now's when all the hams say it's not a minus.
Freddie, that's right. Easy out, back out. There's probably a better name. I don't know if either one of those are brand names, but yeah, same thing.
It's like the reverse drill bit, right?
Yeah.
So boys, Ziggy wants to come on the stream and argue with us.
But I don't care.
I don't care.
I told him we were getting ready to be done. I thought we'd be done.
I think we're almost done.
Yeah, we're coming down to the wire now.
We're getting close.
So that coffee I talked about earlier is at hamradios.coffee, and we lowered the price. It's $14.99 a bag now.
The URLs
Awesome
are in
stuff.
the Chiron below. And it is a subscription. I need to resubscribe. I've bought several bags, but
we
it's
have
good
starving
coffee.
hams in Nebraska that need you to buy coffee.
Right.
Yep.
Jim, you got a drill press, don't you?
Yeah.
Drill
Yes.
press.
A
I've got
large
one that I can put my Dremel in, and then I can use the Dremel as
I got one of those too. Yeah.
Marvin's
I got
asking if you can
I got
buy
a big
just
floor size Porter cable.
He's asking if you can buy just one bag of coffee. You can, but it's tricky. It's designed to be a subscription, so you just set it and forget it. But you can buy one, and then when you get the confirmation that it's been purchased, then you can go back into your account and then stop the subscription. That'll be a way to get just one bag for testing. Get all three, see which one you like, and then get the subscription.
It also they only ship a couple of times, one time a month now.
I think it's once. It might be twice.
I think it was twice. The last time I got some, it was twice. But just be aware of that when you order. Yeah, it's on the website.
See, Chuck was using these kind of crimpers, and they're by far my favorite.
Hate those.
I like the ratchet kind.
I got the ratchet.
These pretty hands I can't mess
Man
with.
hands.
I've got the ratcheting ones I use for like if it's a bigger crimp that you need to make, but these are perfect for like precision stuff. I feel like
the
I
other
have
day,
more control.
We had an argument about crimping and soldering, and this is a special case where I'll allow it.
Yeah, because the wire's so thin and the O-ring is large because of the size of the 1/4-20 bolts that we have in there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's the right size, but the problem is that it doesn't crush. The solid core wire is hard to crush, so you really kind of need to solder it, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So when you actually crimp a wire, you put so much pressure on that wire that it actually fuses it to the. So it's not just that the ring terminal is squeezing that wire, but if you do it right, it'll actually fuse a little bit. And just given the size of the wire and the size of the O-ring terminal, it's really hard to get that. So we always just put a little solder in there to help bridge it.
I mean, I will usually add solder. I add solder to my power poles.
All right,
well,
let the argument begin.
Jesus Christ, I didn't know you were
There he
letting
is.
him in. Florida man, what's up, my brother?
What's up, man?
Did you open that box yet?
No, I've not, and I've saved it for everybody that watches our streams. It's still in the Manila.
Yeah, they
From
got
China.
the three rolls of tape on it.
Oh yeah, it's super special, right? Because
It looks like it's a package from South America.
you can't buy this in America.
That looks like it's something that the drug dogs found at the airport. Is what that
Right,
looks
like
like.
found at the bottom of the
It's
ocean.
just 100% pure cancer.
So if you look, it's got 1, 2, 3 labels on it. It's been shipped 3 times before it got to me.
It's still not used.
Is it? What is it?
That's how they're getting around the tariffs. Like I think that they send them to somewhere in Europe or Canada, and then they ship them to a depot in New York. I think it's in Jamaica, Queens, and then they get shipped from there to their final destination in the U.S.
New Jersey was the last place.
Yeah.
It's the same difference.
It's all a big smuggling operation. Chuck, you're doing great, by the way.
Thanks.
So didn't you have something you wanted to say?
Me?
Diggy, Ape.
Did I? About what?
No, I think he's talking to me. No, you're doing a great
Yeah, I
job,
was.
Theo. That's what I wanted to tell you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Check's in the mail.
I feel like that's not said enough.
Came from China. That's the 10-meter export radio, right?
It is. It's the replacement, honestly.
So
The one you burnt up in Florida?
It's the
I'm
one that
using an
quit
extra
working on
bit.
sideband.
Go ahead, Jack.
So I'm just using one of the cutoff pieces for the ground that goes right here to this bolt. Okay, go ahead and talk.
All right. Thank you, Chuck.
Yeah, the AM and the FM work, but the sideband quit. So
That's the most important thing.
I know.
Ziggy, did you fix that POS?
Unnamed antenna.
This. Well,
It was
That was like
fixed, but not-
Duracells.
It does.
The copper top.
Is that
Broke
I can't
again?
hold it up. Hang on, I'm going to embiggen you, Zigward.
okay.
I was I dare you to knock this battery off my shoulder.
Yeah, you ain't fixed it. That looks just as shitty as it did when we popped the can. When you popped the can open.
Well, I mean, I was going to reuse all the important bits.
And put it back in the can,
No.
and
The
then tell
important-
people
the
now
imp-
it's actually worth $550.
The important bits, Jim, not the can. Not
The
the
tripod. The tripod.
so you know that they call this an inductor?
Yeah.
Not the word I would use.
That's kind of stretching it.
Yeah, you think?
Chuck's using his new helping hands. He just did a video on this. It's probably the best helping hand station I've seen.
Yeah, but they say it's good. That's why they're not afraid of naming
Jody,
it.
if you want to name that antenna, name that antenna.
I can
mean,
smell that solder from
I have
here.
the receipt in my email
Yeah.
where I bought the piece of crap.
You have a
All I know
50-50
is that-
chance of getting it right.
At the Hamfest, I have people approach me about stuff I've said on stream, so I'm not naming the antenna.
It's my antenna. I mean, I can name it. I don't care. I ain't scared.
Go ahead. But the
button
thing
down
is,
and talk
I
to
don't
him.
feel like when I go to the Hamfest, I don't want to be arguing with everybody the whole time.
Yeah,
No,
I
just
know.
on
and
stream
Wait a
twice
minute.
week,
Who are you
that's too
trying to
much.
kid? Who are you trying
You
to kid?
argue with everybody. Jesus Christ.
Hold on.
I'd rather
hold on.
I'd
My
rather
lawyer,
just have
my-
quiet.
My lawyer says I have to say this on stream. Does that antenna make contacts? Yes, it does.
Theoretically.
It does.
All right,
I've seen it.
That's what I was required to say.
I mean, so does my metal roof. It doesn't mean it's a very good antenna.
Well, Rob over at the 741 channel, he drilled a hole in a tree and screwed his coax thing in there
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Lit up. the
and
tree.
made contacts.
Did he put a little energy in the moisture there?
Well, look who decided to show up.
Jody, name it. Name it, Jody.
Yeah, we're waiting.
I swear, everybody around here, always got some kind of wisecrack to say.
Yeah, because
Really?
you never wisecrack at all.
No.
I have a question. Are those type 52s on the bottom right of our view of his tray?
The little tiny ones? No, they're washers.
Are those micro
Washers.
minties? Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, they're washers. They look like the same color, so they look like micro minties.
It's his camera. They're
Which I wouldn't
Rolaids,
put-
Siggy.
Past Chuck at all. Like I would totally expect him to get like the smallest micro minty that they make.
It's the yellow of his silicon mat that's making him look that way.
Okay.
Well, we can go with that. Sure.
I'm still not putting it past Chuck, though.
Chuck now has
Okay.
the second element post on.
Chuck is printing out
So-
some pretty awesome stuff. So
So we got this one to here, this one to here, these two to here, and then one over to here, and that's your ground radios there. This is your radiating element. So it's pretty much done. It's got to tighten
Could you
things up.
imagine
and
sticking
then-
your hand in that box when he lights up 40 meters?
It's an outright lie.
outright.
outright?
Yeah. Wild Bill telling tales over there.
Wow, Bill nailed it.
Yes. Yes, he did.
Ed, I will call it Suvanya from now on.
Slovenia.
No, Vanya is what he said. Vanya is Greek for turd. So it is the Savanya antenna. Not the one Chuck's building.
Wow. Yeah, that'd be a good day if we ran out of Greek gods for naming antenna parts.
I think we
Well, we
have
also
some
have the
that are,
Titans.
Yeah, I was going to say we have some that are actually not named after Greek gods. And if we got into trouble, we could technically go with some of the Roman gods.
Roman gods, yeah.
Yeah, you could do the Roman gods, but you also have some of the Greek mythology that they're not necessarily gods, but you have like the Titans, Prometheus, and so on. You also have Charon, the ferryman over the river Styx. You have Cerberus, the three-headed dog that guards the gates of Hades.
Right. And I think we actually have Cerberus as one of the future antenna designs is one of the names.
So Cornbread's asking if anybody's tried to co-phase these guys, and yes, we have a buddy, Mr. Gendron, who has done the co-phasing of the Roid-based antennas.
Toroid.
You only get one band out of them.
I heard that. Who cracked one?
Well, that's
That was
pretty much
actually my
done.
wife.
That was Abe.
Show it, Chuck.
Had to wash down that Pellegrino.
I did show it.
Let's get Chuck on the big screen.
So you got everything in there.
Yeah, he showed it. He demonstrated it. He talked about it.
Niels, it's what is 7.4's Rob's channel? 7.4 radio?
741.
Yeah,
741 radio. Yeah.
I think he's renamed himself to Ham Radio and Repairs because
Did you
Yeah.
guys
channels
see,
is
did you guys see that?
Luke Central. I
Jean-Luc.
love it.
Jean-Luc Gendron.
T. Earl Grey.
Well, I mean, his first name is John, so that tracks.
Jean-Luc or Jean.
Jean-Luc.
Oh man, that's hard to do when you're trying to talk and listen. And
Well, you got the heat on.
Chris, we're just for
who's
comparison.
got the heat on?
The smaller Toroid was for the one we use for the Poseidon. The big one is what's in the Kronos.
Yeah, the smaller one's for fun. It's the fun size.
That
There it
small
is.
one can't handle the same level of power as
Right.
the Kronos power.
And we're talking 250/100 for the Kronos. That's our official recommendation. Your mileage may vary.
Yeah.
More parts, more power, more permanent, lower cost.
All right. Good show.
Yeah, awesome job, Chuck. Everybody
There's a lot
else,
of parts in
so-so.
that thing. Let me tell you. A lot of parts.
We're about ready to wrap it up, kids.
We are.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Say bye, everybody.
Thanks
Later,
for watching,
everybody.
everybody.
Thanks for watching.
Y'all have a
Super
good
chats.
evening. 73.
Oh, wait a minute. We wanted to talk about the, what is it called?
No,